So the whole point, and thanks for bringing this up, I'm going to attribute it to Jake and Beverly, but I came in mid-conversation. Here's what you want to do. Get the right people on the bus. Invite and encourage the wrong people to get off the bus. Okay? There's nothing like having a rotten apple in your barrel of apples to make things really messy, right? So no love lost. No love lost. Our mission is not to save and preserve and to find every apple. It is to harvest the ones that are ripe and to feed the people. If you're so stinking busy, worried about, making apples ripe that aren't ripe, or trying to figure out how to slow down the rotting process, we're spending our energies in areas that are totally non-efficient. Get the right people on the bus, get the wrong people off the bus, and leadership, get the right people in the right seats, right? Make sure that people are in a place and a position and in a system and making contributions where they can thrive. Yeah, Joan, too much energy wasted with people who aren't interested, right? Or wasted with worrying about people. Yes, no, you're the bus driver, you're the tour guide, so. Hey, great to be with you today. We got a good crowd, a good crew here. I'm in the LifeVantage corporate offices today, and I snuck out of an all-day meeting to be here with you. Somebody said, "How are you going to do that?" I'm hosting an event here. I'm hosting people who flew in, brand new distributors who want to grow the Miami market and the Latino market. I'm hosting them here. I'm speaking here shortly. Seth, how are you doing it? I'm like, here's the beautiful thing about owning and running and leading an online global MLM leadership organization. So I can be in multiple places at the same time, right? Think about it. Your business can be in multiple places at the same time, but being on this weekly huddle with you for the I Can Sell and Recruit class was a priority for me. And so I'm here. I could say I'm busy. I could say I'm in meetings. I could say I'm speaking. I could say I'm taking care of people who are flying in. All of those are true. And I'm here because it's a priority. And thank you, Richard. It's a priority for you because you could be doing 17 other things, right? But as for me in my house, I am committed to doubling my recruiting and becoming a master recruiter. And that's why I'm here. So good to have you. Thanks for being here. Well, let's jump in. What I would love to do is, thank you, Carolee. I am dedicated to my mission to freeing the women of the world, leveraging the power of relationships, unlocking health and wealth, and having a heck of a lot of fun doing it. So let's jump right into the chat. Tell me, where are you? Okay, first of all, I want to know where you are. This is honoring the math of this class. We are 10 days, or 11 days. Is it 11, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? 11 days into a 10-week course. So we're really just at we're at 10%-ish, okay, maybe 15% of this class. How are you? Are you right on track? Are you ahead, right? Are you ahead? Like you're just chomping at the bit to get the next lesson and you can't wait, right? Or are you maybe a little behind? Go ahead and drop that in the chat. I'd love to know, kind of get an idea about where we are. I will start it off. I'm a little behind. I don't have my e-card done yet, although I have done some of that footwork for it, and I'm watching your e-cards and getting inspired, right? Thanks for inspiring me. So I'm working on my e-card. I have gone through all of lesson 2. Okay, so let's just check it. Take a minute to check out the chat box. Sue, I just finished listening to lesson 2 prior to this call. I know, Sue, I was listening today because I wanted to come to this call and say, yes, I've listened to all of the lessons. By the way, you don't, if you have completed all of week 1, okay, the class, the curriculum, and the homework assignments, I have not, okay, not the homework yet. I'm still working on the homework. And you've listened or started listening to week 2, then you're on track. Okay, that's on track. By Monday, you should basically have gone through lesson to be 100% super on track with the rest of the group. You want to be completed with listening to lesson 1 and 2 and completing the homework, right? Doing the exercises. So Christy, definitely behind. Christy, you and I are definitely together, right? Isn't it great being on this journey together? Richard, on track. I love it. Thank you for your message today, Richard. I love lead gen. Oh yeah, this is a powerful lesson. I'm telling you, this is 20. You're learning more than some 20-year veterans in this industry with the basic foundation you're getting. So I love it. Sue, I love having the 3 other ladies that I'm working with as partners. Oh yeah, I want to get to talking about that. We will talk about that. So happy with that. Thank you, Sue, for that. Joan, ahead and so grateful to be reaching out to 10 every day. Wow, excellent. Beverly's on track. Monette, congratulations. We're walking together. We're a little behind. Kim LaChapelle, you're right on schedule. Lillian, lesson 2, but working on implementing. Yes. That's the key, isn't it? You could, I'm not suggesting this, you could take these 10 lessons and take 10 months to get through them. But if you were implementing them stellarly, then in 10 months, you'd get what you needed out of the class. So I appreciate Lillian's insight there. This is brilliant. It's not about just clicking the boxes. Implement these things. By way of question, if you have made your e-card, raise your hand. So, I mean, raise your hand physically if you can, not physically, like your virtual hand on the machine there, because it'll keep it up and I can see it a little better. Carolee's on point. Jake just a little behind. So Jake's a little behind, so he's less behind than I am. Awesome. Joan Riddell, by the way, 43 touches this week. How does that feel, Joan? How does it feel to have 43 touches this week? Richard, if we're not having fun, we might as well be cleaning toilets. Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Love it. Love it. Perfect. So, Lily, I need to start, please. So Lily, you let us know how we can help you and we're here to help. Okay. Awesome. Perfect, Loretta. A little behind, but you listened to the first video of lesson 2 today. And wasn't that a good one? Okay, great. So let's go to the next thing. What I want you to do is I'd love to know. So I'm looking at e-cards, by the way. So Christy, Heidi, Carolee, Beverly, Sue, and Lillian, and Richard. I know you've done yours. And Kim, you raised your hand. So you have completed your e-card. So that means that about half of us here still have not completed our e-card yet. So I'm really going to invite you to dial into that, to get something done on that, like in the next 24 hours. Okay. I'm going to throw out that challenge. Get something done. It doesn't have to be the final version, right? It doesn't have to be the final version, but get something done. And then I'm going to challenge you to post that. Okay. In the next 24 hours in our Facebook Messenger group, just so you can have some progress. Get that e-card. I think that e-card can be really, really, really powerful. If anybody has any feedback on their e-cards, by the way, posting it today, please unmute, posting it this past week. Like if it's generated leads, if it's generated engagement, if you felt amazing and have had better conversations or whatever, feel free to unmute and we'll start there. And if not, I'm going to move forward after I get a drink of this sour cherry. Unmute and go for it, Richard.
Okay, I was just going to say real quickly, of everything I've posted, I got more reactions out of that e-card, probably twice as many likes, all that kind of stuff from that. It was really cool. And so what I did is went back and thanked everybody for liking my e-card, and that sort of thing. And it generated more connections there. So that's it.
Oh, beautiful. Hey, Richard.
Yeah. Yes.
And I may be reading into this. So if I am, you don't have to accept this. I know that sometimes when I have something, when I'm inspired, like I believe you are inspired to share with us today, sometimes I will qualify myself, like by saying, well, I just wanted to say one thing, right? And at the end, I might say, well, that's it. Like, well, that was all. And maybe, I don't know what's going on in your mind, my brother, right? You're the CEO, but I know that I do that. So if you were doing that, stop. If you were doing that, stop. If you weren't, hey, you know what? Slap those horses, spurs in the ribs, and keep going. But that was brilliant. I met today with Sarah. Sarah's an elite Pro 7 with 100 plus people here, by the way, flown in for Vision Summit. And Sarah went 0 to Pro 7 in 15 months, all on social media. And she talked about something that you just hit upon, Richard. And she said, so many people are out there in our industry worried about curiosity and attraction posts, like the curiosity post. So people will ask me about my product. And she said that the industry's shifting where, like, just show what you're doing. Just show what you're doing, because it's not about selling or recruiting online as much as it's about creating a network. Okay. Don't worry so much about, are people answering my curiosity posts? Nobody texted me and said, Seth, if you saw my story, I know Lillian saw my story, and I think she ripped off and duplicated like some of the feeling and inspiration. I hope she did, because if she did, I feel really flattered. And she made it her own, and Sarah was saying, it's about creating a network. Social media is about creating a network. So what Richard did is brilliant. All those people who liked and engaged and commented and loved and wowed his e-card, which, by the way, the number one reaction in inviting content he's created in the last year is his e-card. Okay. And so what is he doing? He's creating a network from that, right? New leads, nurturing leads, qualifying leads, right? Converting leads. So do that. One thing I would recommend, Richard, and everybody else who's got your e-card, now that you've got your e-card out, turn that e-card into 10 different additional pieces of content. I was going to say 64. Okay. Hey, Melissa Grimes, good to see you in the barn. Good to see you in the barn. Turn that into 64 other pieces of content. If you've got a good piece of content, don't let it go to waste, right? That's what we're talking about today. How do you generate leads? So think about how you can here's the easiest way you could take that e-card and turn it into another piece of content. Easiest way. It's called edit your photo. Okay. You've got your e-card and it's a digital file, right? Maybe like let's say it's a screenshot on your phone for whatever, or on your computer. Now what you could do, this is the simplest, dumbest, easiest way. Okay. Take a picture of you and go to on Instagram stories and say, this is me. Or, hi, I'm Richard, right? Here's a picture of me, and type on the text, hi, I'm Richard. Boom, that's page 1 of your story. And then page 2 of your story is a picture of the first 3 lines, right? Or your first paragraph, you know what I'm saying, wherever the break is. Here's who I am. Boom. And that's the second page of your story, right? And then here's the 3rd page of your story. Boom, it's the next little small paragraph. Here's my unique gift. And then the next page is my most valuable talent is. And then the last one is my commitment to you is, here's how I'm helping free the women of the world. To help them move into action and to provide systems and inspiration in a business setting to help them have healing, wholeness, and success, right? Those are some of my notes, right? I'm working on it. That's now a Facebook story or an Instagram story. Do you see what I'm saying? You created one piece of content, and in 3 minutes, now you've created another piece of content, right?
So basically just different picture, and then just part of what I said in the e-card, just part of it. This is me. Got it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So you, let's say that your e-card is, let's see, me, and then I'm going to my mission, my gift, my most valuable talent, and my commitment. That's like 4 or 5 things. So those could be like on a Facebook story. You could have, when I say pages, you know what I mean? You all know what I mean, pages on a Facebook story, right? Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page. Each of those sections could be a different page, right? See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, how could you then take that content tomorrow? Tomorrow, you could actually do videos of that and do 5 little videos. Hey, so I'm Richard, and my mission is to free the women of the world and to liberate the captive, unlocking health and wealth for women 38 to 45 in 23 countries in the world, right? Whatever. That's my first little video. And then that's my first page of my Facebook story. And then my second video is my unique gift, right? I mean, I'm just doing the same thing over and over. And maybe it's not tomorrow, maybe it's the day after tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm challenging you to take that good content and continue to develop it. A week from, maybe what you do over the next 5 weeks then is on Mondays, it's going to be Me Monday, right? Everybody wants to do something, Taco Tuesday, Me Monday. So who am I? Let me tell you about my mission. And I do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live or YouTube Live, and I only talk for 3 minutes or less about my mission. And then next week I do my gift, and I do, see what I'm saying? You can create 64 pieces of content off one other good piece of content. So that's my thought. Anyway, Richard, thank you. Anybody else have some experience with their e-card? Okay. And if
Beverly is the queen of putting them together.
Beverly is?
Yes.
She's the queen. I love
She's
it.
the queen.
Love it. Hey, y'all, you can go ahead and lower. Can I do that? Can I unlower hands? I don't know if I never done that before. Oh, lower all hands. I did it. Wow. I got the power. All right.
How do I raise the hands? Because I didn't know how when you asked me to do it before.
Oh, so what you do is if you're on your computer,
Yep.
reactions.
Oh,
reactions, right?
Got
okay.
it.
Right, next thing I want to talk about is triads. Everybody have a triad? If you don't have a triad, jump in the chat box and say, I need to find a triad. You need to have a triad. Okay. You need to do this with people. Okay. You need to hold yourself accountable. So if you don't have a triad, get in there. I'd love to have 2 people come on and tell me what they've done with their triad, where it's working, and maybe where it's not working. Who wants to jump in?
I'll jump in. I've got a triad going with Richard. I love my triad. I was just saying, got a triad with Richard, Joan, Loretta, and Jane Rizzo. And every day we post our intentions, and then at the end of the day, we post what we do. They are mostly posting at night before they go to bed, so they wake up and go into their intentions. But everyone has been raising the game, and Jane, of course, we're on LinkedIn doing 10 reach outs most of the days. And I have a meeting with Jane in the morning to share with her how we're finding new people. So we got a lot of good energy in our triad.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That's how it's supposed to work. Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, triad, you're thinking 1, 2, 3. Triad is 3 to 5 people. Okay. 3 to 5 people. By the way, Kim LaChapelle, this amazing lady in Arizona, is looking for a triad. So I'm going to invite you to reach out to Kim and invite her to your triad. Kim, you're going to have people vying for you. You're kind of like a commodity now in the market. So you get to choose who you're going to go with. Okay. Anybody else want to jump in about their triad? Okay, I'll let it at that. My triad is a Pro 1, a Pro 5, a Pro 8, and a Pro 10, right? And we're all dreaming our way to Pro 3 with new Pro 3 volume. So, we're all equal. So it's super, super fun. Absolutely love it. All right, let's go into week 2. And we're not going to be on here an hour and a half today. I'm speaking here in a few minutes, although I am going to leave this open if you all want to stay on after, but jump to your, let's jump to your notebook. Okay. All right. I would love, let's have a few of you jump on, raise your hand with the reaction. If you want to talk about what were your thoughts about this week's conversation about lead gen? I'm looking at this document, this page right here. It's right after your e-card, worksheet. Okay. This is so important. Again, part of building your belief in network marketing is knowing what the heck it is, right? Thank you, Heidi. Good to have you here. I have this recorded and we will post it. Okay. So what are your thoughts about this, the golden circle of lead gen to lead nurture, to lead qualification, to lead conversion? I'd love to know what are some of your thoughts? What was an aha? What was a breakthrough? Or what questions might you have? Raise your hand and we'll call on you just so that we don't have people talking over each other. If you'd like to share something or need something more out of it. Okay, I'm going to go to Lillian first and then we'll just keep on going. Go ahead, Lillian.
Okay, so I filled out the part of excuses people use to opt out. So I had no money, too expensive, did not take supplements, hate MLMs, don't understand how it is different, no time, need to talk to my vet or my doctor or my spouse. If anybody has any
You're on
more.
the funnel thing, right? You're here on the funnel thing.
Sorry?
So everybody, you should be, I think,
Yes.
looking at this document, right? Okay. Go
Whoever
ahead.
we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so on the right, she says, write the excuses, okay? Then we were supposed to write our numbers, and this is where I really have to get better at this. So I think I'm gonna adopt, I was thinking of doing what Kim says, is putting my intentions at night. I'm a night owl anyway, but I find in the morning I'm like scrambling to do stuff and time, and I have to teach or go to the gym. And so I'm going to start putting my intentions, because that's so important. And then reporting, we are reporting at the end of the day, like this is what I did. And then I think it's very interesting what she said about having like these different funnels where we're going to put people in. And I think we could probably try to have, because I think we all start with the ABC, like for no matter what, it's always, at least for me, it's always the ABC. And then depending on the person's, we have so many resources. And I think that's where our company is, oh my God, like light years away, is that, we have stuff, presentations by doctors and, horse people or dog people, or so we can really hone in to that person's interest. So I think that's extremely powerful, because I think most people are not going to look at a lot of information. So we can pinpoint exactly what's your pain point, what do you want to listen, and then putting them with someone on the team about that. I think we're light years ahead. So I didn't do much of this because I really think that with our ITT, it's all lined up. It's just a matter of you honing into your intuition and going, okay, for this person, I want to put them in contact with this resource and then this team person. And always the goal is the meetup, but it depends. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So that was my thought. Like the idea that I got is that she wants everyone to have like a process, like our proven plan. We already have it. So I felt like, yay, we're so lucky. Like I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like it's already there. It's just a matter of picking which person. And I think we do a great job in the CEO Women, because people ask like, hey, does anybody know about blank? And everybody jumps in like, yes, here's this video from Dr. So and this. So I think we have it pretty easy. This is easy.
Love it. Yeah, and I think there should be no question. I hope there's not very many questions in our mind. Like, okay, so Deb talked about 7 touches, and that's wonderful. We should have, like, I'm going to ask you, how many touches, by holding up your fingers right now, in our system, in our current system, how many touches do we pretty much have nailed? You know what you're going to do, like a new person, boom, da 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 da. What's the number? Okay. Like, hold on, I'm on the count of three, everybody hold up the number on your hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you're not holding it up, okay. For me, I'm like, it's 3. And I can spell that out. How do I spell it out? I'm reading Richard's lips. I, T, T, right? ITT. And so I was thinking about this as Deb was talking about it. And, you know, oh, do we need to make 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Do we need to make 4, like those next touches? And we'll give it some consideration. I'm working on some stuff that I'll share with you, but we've made it pretty simple to get 80% of your business done, I think. And that is ITT. So I will share with you, by the way, I'm at 6 enrollments for the month. Okay, I'm at 6 enrollments for this month. And I wasn't last month. My last month I was at 1. Okay. So, you know, don't think, oh, Seth does 7 every month. I don't. But I'll tell you, I'm getting better. You know what? You know, how's Tim McGraw put it? You know, I ain't good as I've always been, but I'm better than I used to be, or something like that. You know, okay, funny. I just have to say, I spoke in in the ministry. I get to speak to 9 different congregations, right? Every year, I kind of run the circuit to these 9 different local congregations. And so I was in a congregation that actually meets in our area. It's kind of next door to us, and it's all the cowboy folk, right? And so it was like being at home. You know, everybody's doing yeah, Richard, as good as I once was, right? But I was talking, you know, and all these kids are, you know, taking communion in cowboy boots and, you know, belt buckles, and wearing bolo ties or whatever. And so I was speaking about love and peace and unity. And I quoted a Tim McGraw song. Okay. I quoted a Tim McGraw song where he's like, you know what? I made fun of that kid and I shouldn't have. I should have loved him. Anyway, somebody comes up to one of these old timers. Well, he wasn't that old, but this guy comes up to me. He's like, you know, if every minister on the circuit would talk about Tim McGraw in their talks, it'd be a lot better. Keep it up. Anyway, I had to mention that. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I have no idea where I was going. But I really wanted to share that story.
Well, that you're recruiting more, that you're in flow, that you're as good as you once were.
Oh, good. Yeah, Beverly. Love it. So I've recruited 6 this month. And you know what? I've been hyper focused on what Deb's talking about here, in having in having a process. Now, our process initially isn't as defined on steps 4, 5, 6, and 7. But on 1, 2, and 3, you talk to Seth Mulder and you talk to the CEO proven plan, it's pretty doggone defined for you. ITT. Invite to the first touch video, give them that tool presentation, right? And by the way, I am using the rapid funnel 15-minute overview for everybody, and it's working. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm using, right, as my default. And number 3, meetup, right? Those are the 3 things I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm really focused in on that, like I've never been focused in on it before. Like in the past, I've been really focused. Yes, Richard. I've been really focused in on getting people started in the funnel. But right now I'm really focused on ITT, right? ITT. I'm really focused on the whole pizza. And I'm finding it really interesting, the numbers that I'm seeing, right, of these 6 people, when I'm focusing on the process as opposed, the whole process kind of together, as opposed to just getting them to watch that first video. Do you know what I'm talking about? I can just get them to watch that first video. And no, like I've got a vision for you to see. I've got 3 things for you to see. And then I'm going to get you started on the first one. Does that make sense? And I'm really moving them forward. Oh my goodness. Well, if I take you through my enrollments this month, number 1, Premier Pack, and I'm number 2, Premier Pack, number 3, Elite Pack, number 4, Ultimate Stack, number 5, and I've got to go to my back office. I'm trying to remember who these people are, but I think I've got another. I've got a Premier Pack, another Premier Pack. Okay. And I think I might have one other customer. So anyway, what you're seeing is a predominance to what? Distributors, right? A predominance to distributors. And that's because I believe that if you're running ITT with the, that tool presentation, which is unabashed about the business, and it talks about product, and the meetup, we don't shy away from MLM or the business in meetup either, do we? Right? The more I'm getting people to those, the more I'm closing at higher levels. So this process is super important. Who else had their hand raised? Sue, what did you want to contribute?
I wanted to ask some questions because I'm still kind of a newbie. I'm the pro one, probably, of the group here. And when I was looking at the circle that she was doing with lead generation, lead nurture, lead qualification, lead conversion, I understand the concept, but I guess in my mind with ITT, it feels like the I is the lead generation. The T, like maybe I is also lead nurture. And then the T is lead qualification. Like I was just trying to how to identify where it is that I'm aiming. And then you said your rapid funnel. And I remember that term, but if you don't mind reminding me what that is that you were speaking of too.
Oh, wow, Sue, those are great questions. And thank you so much for bringing those. That's a two-part question. I'm going to take part one, and then I'm going to turn it over to somebody else on this team. Wink, wink. You know who you are, to talk about rapid funnel. Now, I don't mean anybody specific. I didn't ask anybody, but some of you could talk about rapid funnel in your sleep. So, so here's how I'm taking this, Sue. I'm looking at this document right here, right? Lead generation. Yes, ITT is a part of this, but it's a little later. Okay. Lead generation. That's starting conversations. I'm going to call that new leads, right? I'm going to reach out. Ken Checketts. I went to high school with 30 years ago. We've talked for the first time via text today. Okay. That is lead gen. Now we're talking about planning our 30-year high school reunion. I didn't slip in there. And by the way, I've got this little yellow activator, right? So today, like I'm going to take Ken as an example. I'm going to walk you through how I would define and work with Ken. So lead generation today, January 21st, Ken texted me yesterday. I texted him back today. So the day that I have that conversation with him, he today goes on as a new lead for me. And that's a lead generation. Boom. And he happens to be a warm lead, but if he'd come from Facebook, he'd probably be a cold lead, right? Or if I met him in the grocery store, he'd be a cold lead, right? So boom, he is now, that was lead generation. How did I generate that lead? Well, there could be a million ways. I'll tell you how I generated this lead, and everybody's different. I generated this lead because I called my friend Steve Beck, who by the way is on Tri-Synergizer with him and his wife. We went to high school together and have known each other since 8th grade, okay? So I called Steve and I said, dude, what are we doing about this 30-year reunion? I have not attended a high school reunion 30 years, but I'm thinking now that friendships are important. And I'd like to see where some of these people are. I'd like to bless their lives. Okay. So like for the first time, I'm like, hey, I'd go to one of these things. What's happening? And Steve said, let's get a hold of Ken because he's been doing that all by himself. So Steve then reached out to Ken, gave Ken my contact information. Ken was in student government 30 years ago. And I haven't talked to him literally in 30 years. Not like we're best friends. Okay. But he reached out to me because Steve did. That's how I generated that lead. You see, I just generated a lead by being interested in what's going on with the world of my 30 years class reunion, right? Now, I could have also generated that lead yesterday. Here's how I generated yesterday's lead, Melissa. Melissa also went to that same high school with me. And yesterday, as I was on my Facebook stories, and I was looking through who looked at my stories, right? And who looked at my stories? And for the first time in 30 years, I saw this girl, Melissa, we took seminary, we took gospels, Bible study together, right? And had a number of classes. She was an acquaintance, casual friend in high school. There she is on my Facebook. She's not a lead yet. She's a lead. Now I've generated the opportunity, but she becomes a lead for me when what? When I reach out. So here's what I did. And I'll tell you exactly what I wrote her yesterday. So you can see, get really specific on exactly what happened. So, hey, Melissa, thanks for checking out my Facebook stories yesterday. By the way, she didn't like my Facebook story. She didn't engage with it, but I know she watched it because Facebook shows me that she watched my Facebook stories. That's kind of one of the cool things about Instagram and Facebook stories. You can see who's got eyes on you, right? And I'm like, wow, it's been a lot of years. I hope you're well. Looks like you're living in blank, blank, blank. Question mark, smiley face. I sent it. She yesterday was a new lead, right? And you saw how I generated that lead. Does that make sense? Okay. Now let's move to the next thing. Lead nurture. So lead nurture is about the know, the like, and the trust. The know, the like, and the trust. In other words, during the nurturing lead process of it, I want to develop and increase my stock with them in the know, the like, and the trust areas. How do they do that? Well, tomorrow, I'll tell you. So she gets back to me. Actually, we live blank, blank, blank. I am doing well. How are you doing? Looks like you live on a farm, because she was watching my farm. If y'all saw my little ice baby, what I did to, how I spiced up my morning chores on the ranch yesterday, right? That's what she saw. And I said, we have just a few acres down here in Spanish Fork, live on West Mountain, but love it. Glad to hear you're doing well. Crazy to think that it's been 30 years since we graduated. That is what today? That's lead nurture, right? Continuing how she knows, likes, and trusts me. Now, guess what? Because she watched my Facebook stuff yesterday, because now we've been communicating, guess what I might find today when I go look at my Facebook stories? I might find that Melissa has eyes on page number 5. That'll be interesting to me, right? Like she's on page number 1, doesn't matter. If she's on page 5 of my stories today, then I know she's taken 1 minute to check out what the old high school friend Seth Mulder's doing, right? And she might not do anything, but I might kind of keep an eye on that. I might not reach out to her every day, but I might reach out to her today and say, tomorrow and say, hey, talk to Ken Check. Remember Ken? We've been talking about 30-year reunion, right? And I might have 7 of these nurtures. I might, keyword is might. I'm not going to force it to be fit in some box that has to take a certain amount of time, right? Because those of you who've had love at first sight and fell in love with your lover, right? At first sight, that you don't have to check some box and say, sorry, I can't love you. It's not been 9 months yet, right? Just wait, and then maybe we'll give you old smoochy then, right? No, it can happen quick. At the same time, you've known people for a long time, and there ain't no way your lips are ever touching anything remotely like theirs, right? Because that's the know, the like, and the trust thing. So that's lead nurture, okay? And that nurture is going to continue. And then there's going to be a point, right, where I might find if she's ready, willing, or able for something that we're offering. CEO women, why? Because I'm here to free the women of the world, to unlock, to leverage the power of that relationship with her. Yes, Richard, bleeding neck. She might have a bleeding neck. Like if somebody has a bleeding neck, what are you going to say? Wait, let's get to know each other. No, wait, I haven't nurtured this relationship. Are you sure you want me to, to try to save you? No, if they got a bleeding neck, if they're ready, willing, and able, sometimes it just happens like this, where they reach out and say, like one of my old high school friends, Tong Sang Kam, is how you say her name, saw one of my posts and said, Seth, I want that pill. That's a bleeding neck. Okay. She just said she's ready, willing, and able. Is she even in my funnel? Is she even in the ITT yet? Is she converting yet? No, she doesn't know a darn thing other than that she knows, likes, and that she went through getting to know Seth Mulder again, like being reacquainted, lead gen, getting to nurture that relationship, know, like, trust. She's following me on Facebook. I'm not even knowing it. Lead qualification. She sees that I have a need that she can fulfill, right? And now, boom, Now we go into lead conversion. And now, well, let me stay at lead qualification for a second. There may be a point here where I feel really comfortable with Ken or Melissa, and I'm just going to say, hey, Ken, you got a second to chat business? Boom. And I just kind of like do it, right? Like I open that rodeo chute gate and say, let's get it on, right? And I'm going to find out really quickly if he knows, likes, and trusts me, and if he's really ready, willing, or able, right? And he might say, no, I don't, Seth, yeah, no, I'm not interested. Or he might say, yeah, right? And sometimes you're going to realize, oh, I should have nurtured that relationship a little longer, right? And sometimes you're going to realize, oh, they joined another company because they were ready, willing, and able, but I was too scared to get on the horse. So this is an art. It's networking. Give yourself some grace and don't overthink it. But you kind of see how we're going. As soon as they say, Seth, let's go to the next level, or I ask them, hey, you want to go to the next level? I've got something. Then we jump into lead conversion. And ITT, Sue, is there at lead conversion. Basically, I'm giving them the information so they can solve their pains, fears, needs, and wants, right? Through ITT, invite, tool, team. Okay, great question. Anybody else wants to handle the second part of Sue's question about what is this rapid funnel thing? And then I'm going to get to Loretta. Who wants to take on the rapid funnel? Kim, Lillian, Carolee,
No.
Beverly.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I love Rapid Funnel. It's our CEO app. And whenever you send out a video, we always send out the survey with the video. And so you find out if their interest lies in health and wellness or money and business. And that'll be the survey that you send. So whenever you send the video, you'll say, I'm sending you an 8-minute news report followed by a 1-minute survey. And that's how you do that. When you send them the survey, it puts them in the funnel where they could, keep watching whatever's in there. So we have step 1, the ABC. We have step 2, the LV story. And then in step 3, you can go to events and send them a special invite to come to our meetup, which we have Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So you can click on the days and the events and it'll share what activity is going on within our community. Anyways, we have many, many videos in there. We have the Friends and Family series, which hosts different topics that we did last year, and we're about to resume doing on the 27th. It also has a section where you could put personal videos in there. If there's something that you like, you can copy the link, and there's a method to go and put the videos in there. And we've used several of the Dr. Dixon, Icy Bright, different. I've put in a interview about the hair care system with the Emmy Award-winning makeup artist. It's just beautiful that you can customize it. Now, the most beautiful part about the whole thing is that as soon as they click on the link, it sends you an email. And from there, you can tell how much of that video that they have watched, if they've clicked on the link, or where they're at in the funnel. And so that creates conversation. When you see that they've clicked on the link, you can reach out and say, hey, I sent that video earlier this morning. I just wanted to see if it came through all the way, or did that video or did that link load all the way? And then when you see that they've watched it completely, you could follow up with them. And it's really just quite a beautiful system that we have. And we have the script docs are also in there under the tools, materials. There's a section where all the printed materials are. And so that's a summary about the CEO app. Thank you.
Thank you, Bev. Thank you. I posted a YouTube video here in the chat. that will show you how to download the app and how to use it. It's actually phenomenal. And no, it's not the LV app. It's actually what I've been using for 3 years, and we and the team has been using, and we developed 3 years ago. That's why the LV app actually works now, is because they started to copy some of the capabilities, not all of it. And so, yeah, fabulous. Sue, awesome. Did we take care of you, Sue? Did we answer? And awesome, thank you. Loretta, Miss Canada A. Tell us what's up, A.
Hi, Seth. Thank you. Thanks, Beverly, for that review of the app as well. I just wanted to ask you, Seth, going over the lead life cycle generation and then lead nurture. That's kind of where I get a little caught up sometimes, because when I spend too much time with the lead nurture, I feel like they sense that I have an agenda, and then I'm chasing them. And I don't want to be doing that. I'm excellent at doing the invite, getting people look at the video, and then I guess I just, it's saying the right thing to them, not having an agenda. Like, this is people on Facebook, right? It's not the face-to-face thing, because I do better when I'm with them on the phone, but it's what to say. And give me some light on that.
You do have an agenda. Number one, I would say, make sure that you have an agenda, make sure they know your agenda. My agenda is to free the women of the world. Now, do you have to sign up in LifeVantage for me to be able to help, fulfill my mission with you? No. Now, LifeVantage is the main vehicle. That's the bus that I'm using. But listen, if I'm just passing by and you're sitting on the park bench, you're not getting on my bus, but I can give you $5 for lunch and help for you that way, then that's how I can help. So I'm very forthright with my mission. Okay. So kind of have an agenda, but I also realize my agenda is not to sign everybody up. My agenda is my mission. And so I realized, just like Lillian showed the funnel, it's got holes all through it. I want people funneling through the holes. If people aren't funneling through the holes, then you need to open up those holes, right? You need to, and allow them to fall through. When it's not authentic, I think is when I feel anxiety and they feel anxiety, right? So if I'm just playing, if I'm playing the lead nurture game, but I'm not really nurturing leads, right? Like if I've got I'm going to give you an extreme example. I've got 7 questions. No, I've got 4 things that I'm going to talk with you about in succession. So tell me about your family. Oh, so tell me about your occupation. Spell this out on your paper. I'm going for, tell me about your family. Tell me about your occupation. Oh, so what do you do for recreation? So tell me, how are you doing with money? I just spelled out the word form, F-O-R-M, right? And I just formed him. If you're forming people, you're not nurturing. Now, you can find out and share information about friends and occupations and money and recreation and be nurturing leads. So it's kind of like getting into your flow. So, sometimes I let a lot of stuff go. I guess, Loretta, I let a lot of stuff go. I don't feel like every one of these leads, like it's not physically possible or necessary or recommended that every one of the 10 new leads that I brought in, let's say I brought in, I have 10 new leads today, right? 10 new people via my telephone contacts, my high school friends, my basketball buddies, and Facebook, right? 2 in each of those areas. It's not like tomorrow I've got to nurture all 10 of those, because, well, what about the new from 5 days ago? Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, if you're bringing in new people every day, you're not going to be able to nurture every single things. You don't have to capture everything. I don't feel like, now I will look. So what I'll do is I'll pull out my sheet. Like I know every person I reached out to yesterday, new and nurture, because I wrote them down on my little ICANN tracking sheet. So today I'm going to look at that and I'm going to see and feel, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually first is I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to go to Messenger or text and all my communication apps. And I'm just going to reply to everybody who already replied to me. That's where I start, right? Start with the people who are actually talking back to me. And then I get those going, right? And that's natural. right? And some of them I don't even respond to because I have no idea what to say. And I'm totally okay with that. Now, a year, I might be so amazingly better than I am today that I'm going to know exactly what to say. But some days I don't, right? So that's part of it, right? You're just not going to do it all. Another thing that I do, and especially if you're great, like again, your agenda is to know them better, nurture it. So what I'll do with some people, and this funnels people out and funnels people through. Hey, I would love to know, I mean, this isn't my first conversation, but I got, maybe it's the second, maybe it's the third, maybe it's the 15th. I don't know. Hey, I would love to know what you're doing. I love your Facebook profile. Love what you're doing to help inner city children, especially girls. My mission is to help free the women of the world, right? So we share some of the same vision and mission. It's grateful to be working with you to make the world a better place. I'd love to know how 2021 went for you and about wins. More importantly, I'm actually like, this is what I say, right? More importantly, I'd love to know what you've got scheduled, what you're working for in 2022. What's your schedule looking like next couple of days? Do you want to do a virtual beverage on Zoom? Right? That is how Deb Erickson connected with me, because social media brought us together, Clubhouse, that she sent that out to me, right? Yeah, I'll do a meet and greet with you. And then you just get on with them. You don't have to sell them. That 15 minutes, you got 15 minutes and you just get to know them, right? Ask them some questions, get a feel. They're going to ask you, it's like sitting next to somebody. And some of those are going to go down toward the bottom of the funnel. And some of those are going to go out for now, or they're going to just halt, right? And that's kind of cool. Like nurturing is science, but nurturing is also emotional and love. You got to feel it. Does it make sense? Is that helpful?
No, totally helpful. Thank you, Seth.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Anybody else I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I'm going to go give a presentation as well. But that's the big stuff for week 2. I'll tell you, I listened maybe for the first time. Maybe I've done this before. I don't remember. Setting the tone. So you had homework, right? Today, some of you are getting new neuro tools. You're listening to new neuro tools you've never listened to. Oh my goodness. Setting the tone for your ideal day. Anybody listen to that one? All the tapping, oh my goodness. I listened to it, I think today for the first time on my drive. So of course I was driving with, I was safe, just so you know, I was safe, but I was listening to that, eyes open, and I fell in love with that neuro tool. I can see myself really using that neuro tool extensively to set the intention for my ideal day. So it's an example how you can get onto a new neuro tool that can totally help your trajectory. All right. Any other comments, insights, ahas, brilliant moments you've had, or questions you want to ask?
So one of the things that I wanted to point out was this, that I think it, at least for me, it's helped understanding that this is like an endless process, right? So we're going to be putting people in, and some people are just going to fall out, and we just keep filling the funnel. But it's not that pressure of like, oh, I'm going to run out of people to talk to. And some of the people actually recycle. Like some of the people, they go out the bottom, and you can put them right straight up on the top. And I've had people, no one mentioned names, but someone who starts with C. That she came in like, yeah. But guess what? I never followed up. Carol Lee was, when I did my first home meeting, I invited Carol Lee. She admitted, like, what you said, it just like flew over my head. And guess what? I never called her back. And then we got connected like 5 years later and 4 years later through the dogs. So this has I just breathe a sigh of relief. Like, I just go like, this is a cycle. And it's like, it reminds me a little bit like, you've seen like those old fashioned wheels that the river came in, and they have that wheel and the water falls and it makes it go around. And that's how I think of it. Like, we have these leads and some fall out, and we pick up some more, and it just goes on and on and on. So this has just been wonderful. Like, there's an endless supply of people, and I'm just going to see who wants to come in or not, and not everybody, you know, when people opt out, I mean, sometimes I find people that I go like, wow, I wouldn't even want her to take this stuff, 'cause I don't want her around me. It's, I don't want,
Is that
but you understand what I mean? Like some people have like negative clouds around them, and like, why would we want them in this team? Like, I just want positive people and people that really value what we have. And if they don't value it, I'm like, you know, sometimes I tell people like, don't even try it. I mean, don't, because I don't want you to go and, you know, try it for 15 days and poo-poo it. And, you know, now that I know what I know, I've told people that, like, no, don't even, you know, so this has just been like liberating. Like, there's an endless supply of people. We just put them in the funnel and see where they fall and keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. So it's been great.
Like how you're pointing out the sifting and sorting part and having fun with it. And I think
We lost you, Beverly. Beverly. It went on mute.
okay, thank you. I love that you're sifting and sorting. And one of the things that I love most is when Seth says, well, let's just get to know each other over a virtual cup of tea. And then that's when I do my sifting and sorting. I want to see if my energy matches. I want to see what their thought process is and let them do all the talking. And if you book only 15 minutes, you're out of there in no time, and you don't have time to like hang yourself. So I am having a lot of fun with that. And it's not that you book 5 a day. It's that if the energy lines up, you know, you just say, hey, I'd love to get to know you better. It looks like that you have the same passion for helping people like me, just like me. Like, you know, I give them that energy. You look just like me. I like your profile, and it looks like you're doing amazing things. I'd love to, you know, get to know you better over a virtual cup of tea. And then you really just let them talk and don't even think about the ABC. You're really sifting and sorting to see if their energy matches, or if they're like stuck in plan A or what. And that's my feedback. I guess since no one is saying anything right at the moment, I'm going to add to that Seth said to get the conversation started. You're probably wondering, well, what do I do to get it started? So you say, well, what did 2021 look like for you? And what would you like for 2022 to look like? And that will pretty much take up 15 minutes. And then comes in the fill part where he says, I believe I have something that could help you. Would you like some information? Or that's kind of could be the next follow-up. You know, I've been thinking about our cup of flow the other day, or our cup of tea, and you mentioned. And then you might come back and say, I think that I might have something that could help you. But on the first part where you're doing the 15 minutes, you really just want it to be about them. And that's where they build and know, like, and trust you. Because some people think you have, well, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's kind of how you build a know, like, and trust. Thank you.
Brilliant. You know what I love about that question, Beverly, you know, or that's the question, that statement in question is, you know, I think I might have something that might help you. Where's the focus? Where's the focus on that? It's on them. And they know that, as opposed to, I have something to show you. I have something that I think may help you. I have something that based on what we just talked about, I have something that I think you will want to know, but I think that something could change your life, right? So, all right. Hey, we've been at an hour. I want to close this off, close the recording so we can get it up, share it with your teams. I'm going to invite you, share this YouTube link that you're going to get from today's recording with members who of your team who are not here in this class. Why? So that they can get here to this class. Everything that you're doing is all about teaching everything you know about being successful in this business to them, so they don't need you anymore. What? Because when they don't need you, they will be independent. And when they teach their people to be independent, you will have attained a level of leverage that you probably didn't do in 40 years in a career in another business. So love to all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you so much for your contributions. Please, we'll on Monday, keep the chat alive. I want to see those I would love to see those e-cards coming out. Love to know. Yes, Richard. Love to know what you're learning, what your questions are. Keep our conversation. I see that thread moving. That's awesome. Monday Mindset is going on right on Monday. So I will be there. That's my leadership. That's my mindset call for my entire global team. If you want to know where I'm going to be on Monday morning, where you should be, and I don't have to do that call. All you have to do is invite you to be there. It's absolutely brilliantly, wonderfully awesome. We'll start a new class next week, next Monday. But spend the rest of this week getting caught up, going through the classes, and most importantly, doing the implementation. Big thing on my ticket. Need to finish my e-card. Okay. Love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, everybody.
everyone.
Thank you, Seth. Thanks, everybody.
And I'm happy to type up or do your e-card like I do. If you need any help, Seth. Thank you.
Ciao, Bella.